So we're joined now from Tel Aviv by Dr. Dan Shuftan from the University of Haifa. And here in Dublin we have Dr. Bassam Naser, who's spokesperson for the Palestinian community in Ireland. And Dr. Shuftan, I'm going to come to you first because people will see that report tonight and hear that the Israeli Defence Forces were aware that this school was being used as a shelter and still went in there and carried out that attack. Can you explain to us why that was allowed to happen?
Well, first of all, your reporting is distorted in a very fundamental way. You said something that is blatantly untrue, namely that Israel admitted to having targeted the school. Israel never said it. It's not true. It is unclear at the moment
I just
if
want to be
Hamas
very clear,
rockets
Dan,
fell
with you.
there or Israeli.
Okay, we have a delay on the line, but I want to be very clear what we did say and what the Israeli Defence Forces have said on their official blog tonight. They say that Hamas continued firing from Beit Hanun. This is the IDF, which is where the shelter was located. The IDF, the Israel Defence Forces, they say, responded by targeting the source of the fire. So they are saying that they did target that area.
No.
That's a
The
direct
source
quote
of the
from
fire.
the IDF.
The source of the fire, not the school. The source of the fire, not the school. I mean, you said that Israel targeted the school. Israel targeted the source of the fire.
We very clearly and very deliberately said that they targeted the source of the fire. We did not suggest that they targeted the school because we said exactly what the IDF said.
Okay. No, you didn't, but we can come to that later. The important thing is that we don't know yet if these casualties came from Hamas rockets that fell. About 20%, somewhat less than 20% of the rockets that Hamas is launching vis-a-vis Israel are falling inside the Gaza Strip. And UN people themselves said that this happened in this vicinity. We don't know if this is true or a stray shell from an Israeli mortar did it. This is being investigated, and the moment it will be clear, Israel will announce it. Now, the point is the following. The Hamas is keeping its rockets underneath schools, hospitals, and mosques, and we have ample evidence for that. And if Israel will not destroy these rockets, it will fly into Israel, killing Israelis. This is the basic idea of self-defense.
Okay.
Now, another thing concerning your reporting, Israel is willing for a ceasefire, has been willing for more than a week, and Hamas rejects the ceasefire.
Okay.
So what we have here is a very clear situation where Hamas, that admits openly that it wants to bring about the killing of every Jew, not just every Israeli, but every Jew, is using these rockets in order to kill Israeli civilians.
Okay, let's come now to our guest in studio, Dr. Bassam Naser. It is despicable if that's what's happening. If Hamas is using the civilian population to hide out and to launch rocket attacks against Israel, where there are young children, as we saw tonight in this attack on the school, that is a despicable thing to do.
What is despicable, Claire, tonight is our Professor Scholten, who did not even regret the loss of life tonight in Beit Hanun. When you kill 16 people, whether it was by mistake, whether by the IDF fire, these people were wasted. They're innocent civilians, as far as we're concerned. 200 people were injured as a result of this atrocity. I did not interrupt you, Professor. Would you mind if I just finish my statement, please? What I'm trying to say here, Israel is responsible for what's happening in the Gaza Strip, the life that's been wasted, and these innocent civilians that have been actually killed by Israel in the last 16 days. Even if we take 20 out of the equation, 800 people so far, 800 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip have been wiped off the face of the earth, courtesy of the IDF mighty force. You're telling yourself now to the world that you're trying to actually protect Israel. Israel is in self-defense. You cannot equate the fourth mightiest power on earth with Hamas or the Palestinian people that are actually trying to defend themselves and trying to live in peace. They have been under embargo for 7 years. You've cut water, you've cut electricity, you've cut medicines. They are in short supplies of everything. If you listen to Professor Mads Gilbert tonight, Professor Mads Gilbert, who's an independent authority, what's happening in hospitals in Gaza is beyond humanity. It's inhumane.
Okay.
The world is witnessing an inhumane disaster.
Dan, would you like to respond to that accusation that Dr. Naser has laid at Israel's door?
not only is Israel not cutting water, Israel is supplying water, Israel is supplying electricity to the Gaza Strip, Israel is supplying medication
1 day a week
to the
of
Gaza
water,
Strip,
2 hours a day of
while
electricity.
the barbarian regime, while Hamas is bombarding Israeli cities, Israel is supplying electricity and water. And let me remind you, because when NATO operated in Kosovo, they destroyed electricity in Belgrade. This was the objective, because something much less serious than what is happening in Gaza was happening in Kosovo. So what we have here is an organization, an anti-Semitic organization, openly committed to the killing of every Jew on earth. It is in their covenant, it is in their policy, it is in their statements, and they tried to start this war. Israel kept for a long time before it responded. Israel kept its ground operation for a very long time. Israel agreed to a ceasefire. Israel agreed to a humanitarian ceasefire. And the fact that barbarians in the Gaza Strip hide behind their people and are trying to kill our civilian population, this is barbarism at its
Dr.
worst.
Shuftan,
And
can
if this is allowed to happen in Gaza, it will come to Europe.
Okay, can I ask you, where is this going to end?
This depends exclusively on the Hamas. If Hamas will let Israel live in peace. In 2005, Israel left the Gaza Strip completely. And then Hamas, immediately after Israel completely left the area and demolished its own settlements in the area, Hamas started raining rockets on Israeli cities. And it's then, to prevent from Hamas to get huge shipments of rockets from Iran, that Israel prevented only the entry of weapons into Gaza. Every humanitarian aid to Gaza is allowed to go through Israel, through Egypt. What Hamas wants is to open the ports for huge. So you're simply ignorant about the facts.
Okay, I want to come back to Dr. Naser.
It's openly said.
Okay, Dr. Naser, before we finish, it is one of Hamas's stated aims, isn't it? The destruction of Israel. Dr. Shuftan is right that is in the establishing document.
Not just Israel.
As much as Mr. Naftali Bennett, who's an actual currently an economic minister in the state of Israel government with Mr. Netanyahu, as much as Mr. Lieberman, who is an ex-foreign minister of Israel, declaring to the whole world, I will not negotiate to the Palestinians. I would love to see each and every one of them dead and killed. The sooner the better. As much as Mr. Ya'alon, who's in charge of the IDF this morning, I want to kill this. Let me finish, please, doctor. I did not interrupt you, so please let me finish my statement. You're trying to put the cosmetics of the ugly face of Israel to the world. You are about time to be exposed to the world. Your war crimes has to stop. The world is morally and ethically responsible to stop you and your warmongers to actually stop killing the Palestinians.
Okay.
We have suffered a lot. The Palestinian kids every day, every hour of the day for the last 3 days, a Palestinian child is being wiped off the face of the earth, courtesy of your army. Please stop it. In the name of humanity, please stop it. Enough is enough. We need to live in peace.
We need to leave it there. Thank you both very much indeed. It's over to David.